This is Kyle from Ohio, no pronouns given. Says that the world requires a lot of components to come into existence, and it requires intelligence to bring all that together. Kyle, how are you today?
I'm doing all right.
Awesome. How are you? What did you want to talk about specifically? We got just a couple of minutes left, and I want to hear you out.
Okay, basically, the world is like that 100-piece puzzle that you can buy at the store, and if one piece was out of place or didn't fit, nothing would be able to work and come together to make the picture. And it takes a thinking mind to create that.
So what about on Venus? It has similar pieces, but they're not in the same order. Things are a little bit different, and there's no life there. Did it require a thinking mind to do that, or is it just here?
That's why Earth is unique, because Earth has every piece of the puzzle to sustain life.
So, right, but that's what I'm asking, is that like the pieces are in the same order, or are in order here. They're not in order there. They're in a different order on other planets. So clearly there are some arrangements that allow for life. There are some arrangements that don't. We see all sorts of arrangements all over the solar system, all over the galaxy. We see all sorts of different planets with all sorts of different conditions. But they're like snowflakes. There's no two that's exactly alike. This one happens to have life on it. Why is this one has to be specially controlled by an intelligent mind? Do all those other ones, did the intelligent mind make all those uninhabitable on purpose as well?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because let's say if you take away trees or air or water, then life will cease to exist without that piece.
Sure. But you understand, that would just make us like one of the other countless planets.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a thing that's necessary for life. But that would just make this planet like any of the other infinite planets out there. So like the fact that this one's weird in the same way that all the other ones are weird, this one's just a different kind of weird. Like, why is that a necessary argument for intelligence?
I wouldn't use the word weird. I would use the word special, because this is the only planet that can contain life. So if you take away air or trees or water, then there is no life. So obviously a creator had to put that puzzle piece there.
Okay, let's give you that. Who's the creator? Who's the creator? Let's give you that. Who's the creator that did this?
Well, the God that I believe in is
of course.
God of
Of course.
Right. Happens to be that one, right?
How convenient that is, Kyle, that your God that you happen to believe in, not the other gods, past and present, but the one you happen to believe in is the creator that brought all this into existence. Right. Aren't you lucky?
I'm talking about my belief, not their belief. I'm talking about my.
No,
this is what.
But your belief is in the God that brought all this together. Wow. It just
right. But I mean, how do you dispute that though? How do you dispute that? Like, I'm right.
So
I'm right.
It just so happened.
I was right about the puzzle thing.
We said we were going to give it to you. It just so happens I study that stuff for a living. I'm a biologist. I specialize in evolution. I study like how life starts and where it comes from and how it evolves from there. Evolution doesn't have anything to do with how life starts. It just happens to be something that I studied in my undergrad independent field research for fun. But like those are the questions that I answer for a living and like look into. And so like what you said was wrong. You take away trees or whatever like that. Like there's a lot. Trees weren't always here and there was life here. So like there's a lot there that's kind of up in the air with what you said. But what we're saying is even if we allowed that, even if we accepted what you said, that doesn't give us anything about any creator. And it certainly doesn't give us anything about specifically the God of the Bible.
Yeah, if you take one of the puzzle pieces, life will cease to exist. That's why there's God who created everything. I mean, think about this. I mean, us as humans, everything that we have, we created. It just didn't pop up out of the sky, you know what I mean? Like our clothes, food, houses, whatever. You know?
Right, we got like, plants from the earth.
So if
we got the plants.
If you take away everything that we have, we're just running around naked and doing, I'm sorry.
Like we didn't make this stuff out of nothing, right? there was already stuff here. There was already food here on the earth that we now eat. There was already materials to make clothes that we now wear. There was already all the materials to make cars that we now drive. Like, none of this came out of nothing, right? So we had the pieces here. We did stuff with them. Life is the same way. The pieces were already here, and then like life just kind of happened one day. It's the same thing. There were pieces, and then they started doing stuff. And when you study life at a molecular level, it is just chemistry, the same laws of chemistry and physics that apply everywhere else in the universe, just acting on these molecules the same way they act on any other molecules. It's not magic. It's just a thing that happens in the universe sometimes. So, like, I don't see why you need a god for that. And the first thing that I said was, like, all these other planets that are uninhabitable and barren, plus there's plenty of places that may have life on them that we're looking at right now. What if we find life on one of those places? You would have to say that all of that is part of this too. That your God made this massive universe with billions of galaxies, with hundreds of billions of stars, with hundreds of billions of planets, just so that one of them could have a bunch of life. And out of the millions and millions of species on this planet, one species of ape gets to have a relationship with that God. What's that? And you happen to know it because you were born into the right family that taught you the right things, that now you know this God. You don't see how that's really like a lot of coincidences?
So you think humans came from apes?
Humans are apes. We are a species of great apes.
Oh my! So you go around throwing your poop at the wall and everything?
Do you know what the definition of an ape is? It has nothing to do with throwing poop.
Oh,
it's
God,
a physiological thing.
Well, that's what monkeys do, ain't it? That's what apes do. Gorillas. They throw poop at each other. We don't throw poop at each other.
I don't know.
You've never worked at a daycare before, but like I gotta tell you, man.
I've been in some parts of the country where I think that
right?
does happen. So,
we've been there. Okay, the whole thing is like
I see what happens. So,
you realize that's a silly argument, though, right? Like for real, like just honestly between you and me. I'm
going to let you all go for your time.
Okay.
This conversation.
All right, have an awesome day, Kyle.
All right, Kyle. Thank you for enlightening us.
Goodness.